Hello, dear beginner fashion designers. Welcome to our mode 1 and lesson 3 of our beginner sewing course with Mercy. And if you are just joining us for the first time, I welcome you. I'm super excited to have you. You see, I'm just trying to film this introduction video. The main video has already been shot. I just wanted to film this brief introductory video so that we can just get right into our practical, like I told us today would be about. This video would be about. Okay. First of all, I want to thank everybody. I see your comments. I see the everything that we've been saying. You guys are super amazing. I love all of you guys. If you are interested in joining the community again, like I said, the link is going to be up in the next video. So the fourth video, like I said in the second video, the link is going to be up in our fourth lesson. By our fourth lesson, everybody would be open up to joining, and by the end of this particular class, you are going to be given a project to work on. Please do your project. Please submit everything that you are given, and I'm excited to go on this journey with all of you. This lesson, we're going to be talking about sewing machines, the types of sewing machines. I'm going to be giving us a practical view on the different parts of sewing machines, a practical view of my own machines that I own. I'm going to be explaining the parts to us, what these parts do. I'm going to be giving us briefly how to paddle a manual machine, and your project is waiting for you at the end of this lesson. So please do not leave this video halfway. Watch this video to the end and see what I have in store for you people. Briefly, let's talk about the different types of sewing machines that we have. For complete beginners, we have 3 different categories of sewing machines. So basically, we have the general and the portable sewing machines. Those are the domestic sewing machines that we have. I know many people will classify it as, manual, electric, as different types of sewing machine, but the ones that you can carry, the ones you can, the blackheads, the simple portable sewing machines, those are the portable domestic sewing machines that we have. So both the manual, the tabletop, the portable, everything falls under the domestic sewing machine. And then the second category of sewing machines that we have is the specialized craft sewing machines. Now, do you guys know, I know, so maybe some of us might not know, so many of us would know that there are machines that are specially dedicated to buttonholes. I mean, buttonholes, just as the name implies, the hole where you used to put your button in. There are special machines, heavy duty machines dedicated to such task. There are special machines dedicated to finishing, hemming of dresses, many different functions that special machines have been dedicated. So these guys are heavy duty, they are computerized to perform one or very few functions. So they don't just sew clothes, they perform very few functions in bringing the whole outfit together. And then the third type of machine that we have, briefly before we go into what me I'll consider the main part of this course, is the industrial sewing machines. And I want your mind to go industrial, like a whole room full of sewing machines that actually you need to see what China is doing of industrial sewing machines. I know we have the ones that's, it's like a very huge table, perfect direct drive, but no, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about industrial. Yes, I know that the ones in our houses, many fashion designers use, is very much considered industrial machines, but we even have machines that sew leather. Let's not think only fabrics now. Let's think shoemaking, bag making, and people that make furnitures, they do a lot of stitching. So think in those kinds of machines. You can imagine how heavy duty they would be. So let's go into the next part of this model. See you guys there. So this is an old model of an electric machine that I currently have. Okay, so we started from the spool pin at the back here. Okay, so this is the spool pin, this and this. This is the back of the machine. This is for reeling your threads. You put this on POV of an old electric machine. Let's go to the front, back. So we started from the spool pin at the back here. And so this is the hand wheel. You turn it towards you like this. So it's usually used to sew towards you. Everything goes forward. Once your hand wheel goes backwards, it means that you are sewing rubbish, or it means that you are doing a back stitch. A back stitch is used to finish up your sewing. So you must do a back stitch. If not, your threads would lose. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just go carefully into the other parts of the machines. Okay. So the next part that we have talked about the spool pin at the back. We've talked about the hand wheel, and then let's talk about the thread guide. This is the thread guide. It's different in that place. So basically, it just holds the thread. Holds the thread is a thread guide, and the thread guide is right before the tension dial. This is the tension dial. The tension dial, you can see the numbers here. So the more you tighten it, the more harder it is for your thread to pass, and you can use it when you're sewing different textures of fabric. So some people usually have issues if your tension dial is too tight for a light fabric. your thread begins to just cut. Your thread will be snapping unnecessarily. So that is the use of the tension dial. And then we have the needle. The needle, I think, I don't know if I should still explain what the needle is used for. It will carry the thread in and out of your fabric. So we have the presser foot. This is the presser foot of a basic electric machine. So you press it down to sew. You press it down to sew. So is this metal teeth here. Take a look at your own camera. I don't think it's clear here. So it's this metal teeth in between this metal. It looks like a teeth basically. This is what helps your fabric to move forward. What makes fabric moving forward easy is your bobbin. Your bobbin basically holds your thread under your machine. Your bobbin goes inside your bobbin case, and then your bobbin case. There's a method of I'm going to be showing us that. So there's a method. So you allow your thread to come out like this. I hope you can see the thread, and then you put your bobbin inside your bobbin case and make sure that it follows. So I hope you can see the way the bobbin case looks. It is relatively similar in all machines, right? So you make sure you put your bobbin case to look like this. Then you bring it to this point that is like an opening. And you pass it down. Make sure that it comes down to this opening. So yours might be slightly different. Newer models are slightly different. So where it should come to this opening. This in some models, this is not it's not this wide. That is how you thread your bobbin inside your bobbin case, and it goes under here. So you must hear a click sound for you to know. It should be a very slight click sound. I'm not hearing my click sound, but it should go under your sewing machine right below the. So next we have the reverse lever. The reverse lever is different in the manual machine. It goes up and down. Meanwhile, in the electric machine, it goes in and out. So basically, you just press this to do a reverse stitch. That's the back stitch I was talking about. It's a reverse stitch, basically. So the next one we have is the presser foot lever. Let's go to the back because it's at the back. Camera is bad, but this is the presser foot lever. It goes up and down. It goes up and down like this. It's at the back. So the presser foot, it controls the presser foot. I've not talked about the presser foot. This is the presser foot. Presser foot can move up and down. So the presser foot goes down. Look at how it works. Controls the presser foot. The presser foot goes down. So when you raise it up, the presser foot goes up. So presser foot lever controls the presser foot. And yes, you can change your presser foot. You can change your presser foot to different types. We have, so if you want to sew gathers, if you want to sew an invisible zip, you can change your presser foot. If you want to sew thin lines, there are so many different types of presser foots that you can change. And I would advise you, if you're using um if you're using a specific type of machine, get spare parts. You see these things? You see this one that I'm touching? This one. I don't know the name. You see these things anywhere that you can screw, basically. It is screwable. I can move the screw. I know you will not be able to see it clearly, but look at it. This at the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it that way. You should be able to change all of those things. Even your bobbin case, you can buy an extra bobbin case. You can buy so many bobbins in the market. You can buy extra things so that when you have an emergency, and even your feed dogs, you can buy extra ones in the market. Although a machine like this that is old, you might not necessarily see this type readily in the market. But for manual machines, you should be able to see it easily. The next one is the stitch selector dial. This is the stitch selector dial. So it adjusts how long each stitch will be, and this is the stitch width dial. Adjust how wide, especially for if you are using a manual machine, you will not have this because a manual machine only sews straight lines. So the stitch width as in wideness, the stitch width dial is for zigzag and decorative stitches. So you use it to, you can have tiny zigzags, you can have medium zigzags, you can have big zigzags and all of that. I'm just briefly going to show us how to thread your machine. It is different for everybody, and I'm going to show us the parts, this exact same things I've showed you here. It is the exact same names and parts in your manual sewing machine. So I'm going to be showing us that in the sewing machine, in the manual. Okay, so before we go there, let's see how we thread our needle. Just basically like the manual, You put your thread on your spool pin at the back. You pass it through your thread, is the thread holder now. Pass it through your tension disc, right? Come out, and I don't think I mentioned the name of this one. And you pass it through here. Tie your needle. You're just going to hold your hand wheel. Your hand wheel is at this side. You're going to hold your hand wheel and move it forward. So as you're moving it forward, your needle should be going inside. And then you're going to use the thread to pick up the thread on the bobbin. Okay, so that is how you start sewing. So you must have two threads, one from up, one from down, but they both should be up. You should be seeing two threads, two sets of threads on top of the sewing machine. So that's it for our electric machine. Let's go to our manual machine. Okay, so this is the manual machine. You see, this one has a table, although the table is so differently, the head is so differently. This whole black head, we call it black head, basically, is the manual machine. Now you see, mine has an electric motor attached to it. It has, I think I'm going to unscrew it. I hate unscrewing this thing, but just to show you guys this thing, I don't even know what the name is, but it has that thing. And then I have to remove it totally. Oh. So basically it has that and this electric motor. There are different sizes, but this is like the most heavy duty. It works with speed. So this, it's in two parts. There is this motor. So this is the pedal that's attached to it with a, and then we'll look at the other parts of our manual machine. So where do we start from? This is our spool pin. We have two spool pins. See, one down here and one up here. I usually use this one up here, or if I'm using one of my big threads, right, I just put the thread on the floor, right. Basically the thread stays on the floor. Just imagine the thread is on the floor and it passes here like this. So this is our hand wheel. So it's my own hand wheel that connects this, let's call it our rope, our electric rope. It connects this electric rope to my electric motor. Okay. So this is the thread guide. Look at, basically pass you pass from, yes. So from the spool pin here, pass it to the thread guide, then to the tension disc. This is what I want tension disc. I can't move the light. Sorry that is against the light. You pass it through this. There is a hole here. The hole inside this. So this lever now, you see this. This is the tension disc. This lever, and then there's a tiny hole here that you pass it through. Very unnecessary in my whole opinion because it removes by the way. And then you let me raise the needle up, up. Okay, so this is the needle. The needle faces sideways, so you thread. So I'm going to show us how to thread it, but I'm just naming it now. So who remembers what the name of this is before I say it? This is our presser foot. Now under here, this is our thread dog. Okay, I hope we can see it. It's our feed dogs. Okay, so now under it we have our bobbins, exactly the way this is the bobbin case, this is the bobbin. I explained the other time. You put it inside, make sure your thread is coming out, then you allow it to touch this tiny opening. Once it's set inside, you push it to this opening. See, this one is smaller than that other one, so that this place is in alignment with the hole that is there. So there's a hole that is there. There's so much that I can't show you, but in subsequent videos I'll be trying as much as possible. This is the reverse lever. This is it. You can see the numbering. So once you bring it up like this, the stitches sew backwards. It sews in reverse. Once you bring it down, it continues to sew normally. Now, the less the numbering here is 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. This 18 or 16, 16, 20, 30. So the smaller the number, the looser the stitches. So once it comes up here, the stitches become tighter, right? It's like they're trying to, it's like it's an equivalent to something per second, in my own opinion. That's the way I interpret it, right? Stitches per second. Well, that's not it, obviously. So I'm going to be showing us the foot pedal of the manual machine. I've shown us the one that I use for the electric motor, but then I'm going to be showing us in a minute for the manual machine. I just want to make sure that I've covered everything that is here. So you see, this is a very simple setup. You see that obviously there is no stitch selector dial. It is just the reverse lever that is here. There's no stitch selector dial. There is no stitch length dial. Okay, this is the stitch length dial that is doubling as the reverse lever. Okay, so let me show us the under part of this sewing machine that makes it a full machine. The electric one that I use. This is the manual one, right? So now if you move the wheels, that one moves automatically. That one moves automatically. So this is connected to this wheel, and then you use this rope, right, to connect to the hand wheel up. This is the wheel below, right? And you see, once I move it, the pedal, we call it the pedal moves also. So once the balance wheel under moves, the pedal moves. Now we'll be going briefly on how to paddle the machine. All you just need to do is turn the machine, turn the hand lever. All you just need to do is to turn the hand wheel towards you, basically towards you. So, and then you make sure that your leg, two, make sure that your 2 feet are on the under part of the machine like this, ready to be in hand wheel. You make sure that you turn the hand wheel towards you and let it be in sync. So the reason why this will not move properly is because the electric is still connected. Let's try connecting the manual. So this is what we use to connect the manual. I connect it to the big wheel under. Connect it to the big wheel under. So it's connected now. You see how much more firm it is. See that it's already moving. Take a video of yourself trying to paddle your machine. We have learned the parts of the machine and we have briefly learned how to paddle a manual machine. If you are using an electric machine, then I'm going to give you another assignment. Before I forget, this is how you thread your manual machine. Put your thread on your spool pin, pass it through this thing we're talking about, okay? I cannot remember the name. Pass it through your tension disc, right? Tension dial. Let's mix the names together. Then pass it through here. Then pass it through here. Yes. Okay. Wait, drag it long enough. Right? Pass it through your and pass it through your needle like this. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to raise the needle up. Make sure that you raise the needle up and thread your needle. Sometimes for those of us that use glasses, it's really, really tiny. And then you see what I was explaining for the electric. You use your hand to on the hand wheel. You see the other thread that just came up. Way to zoom in. See the other thread that just came up. So the under thread, this is the under thread. You see me pulling it. This is the thread on top. This is the thread from the bobbin that I just showed us. This is the thread on top. Okay. Remember that I said I was going to give us 2 projects, especially for those of us using the manual machine. So I want to use this stripe fabric to perfectly give an example of what I want to explain and the project I want to give you to work on. Now, you are going to be sewing straight lines, and all you just need to do is you have the choice. You have the liberty to choose either between paper or a fabric. See, look at my fabric, is not that big. So this is what my fabric looks like. And it does not have to be striped fabric. I know that some people now, God will help you. So it does not have to be striped fabric. You can rule your own lines. Take a pen and rule your lines. Let the lines be straight. And now I want you to sew along those lines. So we're going to be learning how to sew straight lines for this first week. On an average, it should take you between 1 to 2 days to learn how to do a basic pedaling of your machine. So now we want to make your hands stable. We want to make your feet and your hands to be in alignment. So I want you to sew a straight line. So you're going to take your fabric, right? And then you're going to sew. Okay. So see, basically what I want us to do is you can see my thread. So sew on that straight line. And your own does not have to be straight and aligned. Remember that you are a beginner. Okay. So all you just need to do is before we create the community all you just need to do is we create the community, um do your own version and tag me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. I don't know if they tag on YouTube, but yes. So I'll be expecting feedback from us. See you in the next class. Bye.
So she says she wants to tie. Now, tying is not the word. You need to back stitch, right? You need to do a reverse stitch.
Okay, well,
So this is the practical of what I was talking about. Now, you are going to raise this lever up, right? And then sew, so it will go back. Right? See, it's going sewing back. So now you put the lever back down. And
sew
then to
again.
continue, yes, we sew again. Yeah, so it's not supposed to be that long. It's supposed to be just
You want more?
up, down, like 2 seconds, up, down. Okay? Oh yeah. Oh my god.
You're not serious.
I'm not serious. Oh yeah, turn the fabric.
Like this.
Push, no, like let the needle be inside.
Okay.
Let the needle be inside first. Use your hand. Then raise the presser foot. Then turn the fabric.
Like this.
Yes.
Am I not trying now?
Yes. You see, it's not that hard.
Next, bring
small.
I tried.
Oh, yeah, let's see what you did. And you tried.